Hey everybody out there, it's Alabama Deep and coming back at you. I am over here at the hospital with my wife. She had to come to the ER last week, and I'm just here spending the night with her. We got a pretty long line of ambulances behind us. Looks like they're having a busy night. I came out here for a quick smoke. I'm fixing to go back in. But when I do, while she's sleeping, I thought I'd show you a few things I got off of eBay and the idea that I have. So we have a couple builds that I'm planning on, throwing a couple of other ideas out there. I have one or two more, and I want to discuss that with you in this upcoming video. So stick around. We're going to be talking about some interesting stuff and some future builds coming up. And put on your thinking caps too. Give me some good ideas. We're going to do that date just with GMT function, no doubt. That's going to come into reality. I just want to make sure that when I do that, that it's done in a tasteful way that would befit something that Rolex might actually do. So make sure the case is right, hands are right, all that stuff is right. I really like the bling. I love it. But thinking about it a little bit more, we had a Rolex date just turnograph that was very, very similar to what GMT would be on the outside. Of course, the movement was not, I don't believe, but this movement actually will have GMT function on it. Rolex date just GMT. I'm thinking some way I could get GMT right below date just, if I can have that printed on there. But let's talk about it in this upcoming video. And so here I am. I'm going for a ride in the elevator. I'm exploring my new surroundings here at the hospital while my wife sleeps, contemplating the new build of the Rolex date just GMT. Looking at my previous videos, I'm thinking about, do we really want to go with the bling and all the heavy stones and that? I do know that we're going to be using the GMT movement, although that we're looking at definitely using clone and not an original movement. Something I just can't afford for this build, to be honest. But very, very, very similar, copied from Rolex. Going back to the Tudor builds, of course, we will be using Tudor movements or ETA that I'm buying very cheaply offline for a reasonable price. The more and more I look at the Rolex turnograph, I think we should go with this appearance for our Rolex date just GMT. Very modest, very handsome, very stylish. I think this would probably be the best visual look we can get, but have the numbers inscribed on the bezel, much like the modern Rolex GMT you see here. For the bezel for the GMT build, I think we can find that off of eBay for $45. That's reasonably priced. We're going to have it engraved with the proper numbers as it would show on a Rolex tomograph and GMT modern bezel. On the case, that's coming off of eBay as well, stainless steel Rolex case. It will be vintage, but nonetheless, you should not be able to tell much of a difference. On the dial, we're going to look for a prime example of a Rolex dial. I need to know what color it needs to be. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. We're going to be doing lots of shopping for it. Right above, officially certified, but just below the hands will be GMT Master. Taking a moment away from watches, I step outside after contemplating so much about this build, and it is starting to snow. All of the workers from the emergency room decided to come outside and throw a couple snowballs, as this is very rare in Alabama, and although this may be a light dusting to you, to us, this is something pretty major. It's a lot of white stuff. So what do y'all think? Do you think we should step away from the bling in the previous video? And should we go for this more modest, humble, vintage look that we have for the Rolex turnograph? I'll let you comment below. Tell me what you think. Now, getting back to the Tudor builds, we're using actual Tudor movements, dials, and hands, and also ordering ETA off of eBay for reasonably incredibly cheap prices. $38 for ETA, very, very similar to what Tudor uses, and also the actual Tudor movement dial and hands, which are coming in through the mail. I do have other cases on their way as well. I bought these off of eBay, Rolex of course, and they will be used in the couple of Tudor builds I have planned. Stepping outside for another cigarette, the snow is really coming down. This is pretty severe for the state of Alabama. Normally we don't get this much snow. It's been a moment. If only it could have snowed this heavy on Christmas Day, but it didn't. I guess better late than never. Okay, to sum it up, we have so many parts coming in, so many parts that are arriving. I've got these builds for the Rolex GMT in the shape of Rolex Turnograph, but not necessarily. And then we have the Tudor build like this one I made here. They're coming in. I've got 2 of those. And then we have cases for all different types of builds, plus the very special Air King that I'm going to be building, not necessarily the Turnograph itself. There are so many watch builds that I have, movements that are coming in, such as the GMT movement. It has arrived, and in the end, I would like for all of these builds to turn out just as good as my Rolex Datejust did. We look here, this is just a very gorgeous watch using original parts on the inside. Just so pretty, and I'm just hoping that everything turns out just like this one. So to sum it up, we have a lot of stuff coming in. Now the Air King, I haven't really gone much into that, but just one picture of it. It will be a Rolex case with an original Rolex dial. We got to get into the self-winding movement on that, because if I'm correct, Air Kings were self-winding, at least in part. I don't think any of them were automatic, but they could have been. I could be mistaken. But we are going to be doing that build as well. I'll keep y'all updated. I'm going to the cafeteria now. I want to get my wife something to drink because she's very thirsty. I have been here for 2 days now thanks to the snow, and I'll be going into work tomorrow directly from here at the hospital. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Comment below on what you think about all these builds coming up. We have a lot to do coming up ahead. As soon as all these parts arrive, we're going to dive right into it. I'll see you on the next video at my bench, and thank you all for watching.